Have you ever been caving?
Yeah, I have.
I have
and
too.
when I was a kid, I have no idea how old I'm not. I have a terrible memory for details, but we went spelunking, and there was a part where there's a tunnel that we were to crawl through as a group. It was a tour. All right.
Phil Phails for you.
And so we were supposed to crawl through this tunnel, and I don't know if somebody got anxious or they actually got physically stuck, but we were stopped in this little tunnel for, in my mind, what felt like 2 hours. For all I know, it was like 20 minutes. I don't know how young I was. But that's why I'm like, I never thought I was claustrophobic before, but now I am. Because am I going to be completely crushed in this cave or stuck here forever and no food and no drink and, whatever.
Oh my God.
It's wild.
I think the first caving experience I had was at Enchanted Rock.
Yeah.
Because they have at the top of the main rock, the main trail, there's some caves up there.
Yeah.
And I went with my brother-in-law, and I think there was like 2 other people. And when I got into you squeeze down into the first chamber.
Yeah.
And it's kind of it's a squeeze.
Yeah.
Like you're kind of contorting your body to get in there. And I remember feeling a lot of anxiety and fear and thinking like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
And then I looked over at Trey, and I might have said something about it. My brother-in-law's name is Trey. And he like shared such an excitement and an exuberance that it was contagious.
You're like, actually, I feel good about this.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
It totally changed my spirits.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was this, you know how emotions can be contagious?
Absolutely.
Like you can resonate at the frequency of someone else's emotional landscape.
Yeah. They can bring you up. They can also bring you down.
They can bring you up or bring you down. Yeah. It's like everyone is stronger, right? You got 2 emotional kind of
or what you attach
beings.
to, right? Because it could be both, right?
Yeah.
Because they say, in theory, negative energy, I don't know, is more contagious than positive energy. I don't know that I agree with that.
Well, it makes sense because we have a negativity bias.
Sure.
Like you remember.
Right. You're less likely to remember the
negative
good things.
Probably because they're threatening and you want to survive.
Right.
So you remember the bad things.
Red flags.
Yeah. It's like, I need to remember those bad things so I don't die in the future or get hurt or tricked or whatever.
Makes me think of my favorite meditation by Sarah Blondin. It's called Learning to Surrender. And oh my gosh, it resonates with me so deeply because she talks about how I'm going to mess this up a little bit, but basically we hold what we're afraid of close to us because we want control and we want to protect ourselves from it, right? Which keeps us stuck in this fear versus moving through it. And she used this water analogy that we like ground ourselves in the turbulent water versus letting the water take us to the calm water. And I think about that frequently because it's so true. You're like, oh, my wrist hurts. Is it cancer? And then your wrist hurts more. And I mean, obviously just making something silly up. But then you can create all these things in your mind out of the fear versus being like, yeah, my wrist hurts and like, we'll be fine. And then it just, then you move on and your body heals.
Yeah. What you resist persists is the saying that I've heard.
Yeah.
And I interviewed Craig Tennant earlier this week. He's a shadow work facilitator.
Cool.
And he was talking about, when you fear something or when you repress or hide or deny something, you end up like magnetically drawing those things to you.
Because it's what you're focusing on. Like, there's another phrase that's like what you focus on, you see, or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But,
I don't even know where we got there, but
gotta like chill and accept. You have to accept kind of the present moment, accept what's going on for you. I think in Jon Kabat-Zinn too, of like the mindfulness-based stress reduction, a part of that is like being with your experience.
Yeah.
It's like the way that you're with it and the stories you tell yourself about your experience really
and that's
impact
also
it.
being very present versus, because that's like the idea of anxiety is actually not being present. It's like worry about what could be.
The future.
Right? Yeah. And so that's partially why I love that analogy of like, instead of grounding yourself in the turbulent water, it's like, write it out.
Yeah.
Write it out. And you might be keeping yourself from where you really want to be.
Yeah. The only way through is through.
Yeah.
Yeah. I went to a song circle back in the day called Finding Our Voices. It would meet 2 Mondays a month at the Rotunda downtown. At the Capitol.
Okay.
And one of the songs they sang was "The only way through is through. The only way through is through. Who? You can choose when it's time to start, but the only way through is through. And then the second one, it would be like they would weave together. And the second one that would weave on it would be you get pulled down by a heavy load, and when you reach rock bottom,
Oh, like
there's a place
around,
to
like they
go. You
layer
get
the.
pulled down
Yeah.
by a heavy load, but when you reach rock bottom, there's a place to go. And they're in a round.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then the third part is one step, you're still in the dark. 2 steps, you might see a little spark. 3 steps ahead, there's the light of day. Keep on walking, 'cause you're on your way.
And then
And
I
they
love it.
would
And you're
all
hitting
like
all of it.
weave
Yeah.
together, and it was the coolest thing because
There's some drums in that mix.
it's so true.
Yeah,
It's
so
like
true. Yeah.
if you try to, and it's like with psychedelic journeys or epiphanies. If you grasp and cling, if you
then
don't go
will-
through the door,
Oh, you are stuck.
you got to go through the door.
Yeah, you do.
You've got to
Yeah.
face that fear,
Yeah.
and the fear dissolves and turns into
Yeah,
whatever.
and you got to go through it or ride it, or you have to ride
Ride
that
it.
wave.
You ride the
and then you're
snake,
like,
or
"Oh,
you
yeah,
ride the
yeah, yeah."
wave, or
Or
you
some,
go
like,
through the door,
crazy like lava monster roller coaster or whatever.
yeah, or you like release and float into a void of nothingness,
Yeah.
which seems like death.
It does. But also going back to that's like my mind always goes to water. I'm like, just like flow through it. Take the wave out,
Yeah.
whatever. I don't know. Anyway.
That makes sense.